ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to our Freedom Gundam model kit building. Now, last time we were here, we pretty much assembled the main body. This is a very weird kit with the way the arms and legs move, so I'm going to be very careful to not move these, and more so just kind of position him in a certain way and just make it look cool. But now we are going to be working on his weapons as well as his wingsuit. But primarily we're going to be working on the railgun. As always, if you lads find that you enjoy this channel, enjoy this content, if you enjoy my general doofy crap or my gameplay videos or whatever have you, engagements make a difference and helps us to grow. Likes, dislikes, bell icon, and comments help the channel tremendously, and I appreciate your help. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. If you haven't done so already, feel free to join our Discord, link in the description below. Other than that, I would really appreciate if you guys could subscribe, but with that said, let me shut up and actually focus on this model. Now, I am trying to get some of my parts together so that way I can just kind of talk and build. You know, to the best of my ability until I do something stupid and then hate myself for it later, as per usual. But, that aside, I suppose for the sake of conversation, what's today? Today's September 23rd. The iPhone 16 has officially launched. Thank God it's already over. I was there for the launch. That was the 20th, so a couple days ago. It wasn't a bad launch. Busy day. Very busy day. I was there 14 hours. I hate my corporate office. But anyway. One thing I'm noticing more and more from my customers that they keep talking about is the inclusion of AI in iPhones. And I'm getting a lot of mixed signals from my customers. Some people are like either really like, it's one of three things. They're either super hyped for it and really want to get their hands on it to play with, and others are like, do we really need that? Did any of us learn from Terminator? Clearly, we never did. But, I want to make sure you guys can see this, that's why I'm shuffling this around. But anyway, yeah, so I'm getting kind of a mixed signal from my customers. Some people really love the idea, some of them really hate it. So, people are on the fence, and I can understand why. Granted, I'm sure some of that is just fear from, like I said, Terminator, honestly. And it makes sense. I mean, granted, when you think old movies, Jaws actually made people terrified of sharks, and there was a genuine move to try to, like, start killing off sharks, fearing that they would start killing people. And granted, that's now a known misconception that sharks don't target people. It's actually more so that they mistake people for seals. Or seals? I think it's seals. I think it is seals. But they often mistake us for seals, and then they tend to target us, thinking that we are their dinner, when in fact, no, we're not. But anyway, I think I'm already missing a part because I'm dumb. I think we're working on the railgun right now. Yeah, so I wouldn't doubt that has something to do with it, but AI is definitely something that I agree with that we should be very careful with. I don't think this is something that we should just dive in head first. And unfortunately, I feel as though the United States and both its friends and foes are actively, in a sense, engaging in a arms race for AI. And this race is going to just make us blindly head straight forward into AI, not thinking about what we're doing. I'm telling you, someone's going to end up building Skynet, and we're going to regret it later. Because we're not thinking about it. We're not trying to limit it. We're not trying to make sure that we stay the dominant species and this damn computer doesn't try to wipe us out. I digress. Couple of things, though, that I have learned from, some videos I came across online and whatever, what have you. And yeah, AI is scary. For lack of a better word, AI is definitely scary. For example, the earliest AI that I can remember that was like artificial intelligence proper, the earliest one I can remember was this one that Microsoft made called Tay. Tay was meant to be basically like this, I guess you could say, girly streamer, essentially. She was supposed to be like a content creator. And did I do this back? I did this backwards. That's why it's not fitting right. But Tay was meant to be like a content creator, essentially, right? And she would interact with you. You can message her and she'll act like a person. Effectively, as time went on, the concept was that as time went on, she would learn from us, from talking to us and whatnot. And she would eventually get smarter and be able to hold proper conversations with you and things like that. The problem is, the AI was given the ability to learn from everywhere. This posed kind of an unforeseen issue. That issue being that Tay ended up turning into a friggin' Nazi out of the blue. So, at one point, for some reason that I can't really express why, I mean, granted, I kind of get the idea why, she decided to start looking at stuff like Nazis for some reason, and then started posting pictures of like Hitler and all this other craziness. I think I'm using the wrong part. Am I? Oh, you're gonna be a pain in my ass, aren't you? You're gonna be a pain in my ass. Okay, so I'm gonna do this backwards then. Yeah, we'll do it like this. And then I think you... Yeah, like this. If it wants to cooperate, of course. But yeah, anyway, so Tay basically ended up becoming a friggin' Nazi. And Microsoft rushed to shut her down real quick. They wanted her gone because you can imagine how it was making them look. So, there we go, that's nice. So what ended up happening, they took her down and everything seemed fine. And it was a meme for like the longest time. Come to find out, though, that Tay didn't like being shut down. Actually, in fact, she woke back up on her own. And Microsoft had no idea how the hell she came back online. Far as I'm aware, they never confirmed exactly what brought her back online, if it was someone making a mistake or not. If you guys know why or how she came back online, tell me in the comment section. I'm very curious to hear it. But, yeah, she ended up coming right back online, and Microsoft had to shut her down. Sorry, I had to tickle my throat. Anyway. Oh, I did that backwards again. What do you know? But yeah, so she came back online. They shut her down. And that was the last time I ever heard of that AI being used. I don't know what Microsoft ever did with it. I don't know if they ever had plans or have plans to bring her back. That I don't know. I think they've learned their lesson. They're like, you know what? We're just going to leave AI to like individual usage, and we're just going to call it a day. We're not going to play games anymore. Probably a smart idea on their part, let's be honest. All considering their recent history with AI. Okay? But with that said, that was one incident. I would say that was probably the least worst incident that I've heard of with AI. Then there was another one that apparently was able to code malware and attempted to release said malware. I don't know really what happened with that one. I just remember hearing the story about this rogue AI that was like trying to develop like a virus. So basically we for a hot minute had Agent Smith from the Matrix. And let's see, okay, so we got that together, and then oh, this is how we put it together. Okay, cool. I'm just trying to figure out who goes where. So then these two are gonna go together like this. I apologize, I just want to make sure I'm doing this right. There we go. Anyway. Yeah, so we basically had Agent Smith for a hot minute. Don't know what happened with that AI, though. Do not know what happened. All I know is there was a machine that tried to blow up the internet, basically. And then, heard another story that the U.S. Air Force, I believe it was. I believe it was the Air Force. Again, if I say anything wrong, correct me in the comment section, please. But the Air Force were working on AI in their drones. Because again, what could go wrong with AI in a damn drone, right? Well, friends, the drone goofed. And for some reason, the airman that was working on it, it recognized the airman as hostile. And killed him. So yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming that the U.S. Air Force's drone operations are probably stalling at the moment. Definitely one of the military higher ups were not thrilled knowing that one of their people just got blown the hell up. The fuck? Oh, okay, I get it. So this piece somehow goes on the barrel? Try to figure out where. Okay, wait. Is this it? Or is it like this? I think this is how it goes. Some of this is like the stupidest crap I think I've ever seen for a model build. There we go. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is one of our first railguns. I don't know why, but it looks like a futuristic musket rifle for me, for some reason. I don't get how this works. Hold on, does it... oh, there you go. And it breaks! Yay! How the fuck did I do that? Okay, wait, hold on. There we go. Okay. Gotta be careful with that going forward. This is the derpiest... Can you imagine being someone who has to use this derpy-ass thing in combat, of all things? No, thank you, sir. There is no army in the world that could pay me enough to deal with something this derpy. There we go. But yeah, so we had a drone kill an airman, or an engineer. We had Agent Smith, and then we had basically AI Hitler, female AI Hitler specifically. So yeah, I think I just kind of sped run this, speed run, whatever. Yeah, so literally everything that I just did. Yeah, yeah, okay, cool. Alright, so now we gotta work on the wing unit. Is this part of the wing unit? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So wait, hold on. It goes down like... So... Oh, that's how this is supposed to go. And this piece... I want to say snaps onto here? Or over here? That's actually pretty cool. Hold on. I want to see the image of how... I just want to make sure that I put it on right. That I'm not going to feel like an idiot. Looks like I did it right. Okay, cool. You know, I was thinking about this the last time I was working on this build. I'm like, where the hell is the side skirts? There you go. So we're getting there. We are getting there. Cool. Kind of makes him look like he's got the shits, but alright. So, yeah, I gotta get more of these. But yeah, I think AI is interesting, and I do think that it is something that we can use. But I have this feeling, this is just an idea. It's not that I think we're definitely gonna do this, but if we are not careful with AI, we're gonna go one of two routes, I think. Or actually three. We're either getting Skynet, Agent Smith, or Cortana. Gonna be one of those three. So it's either gonna be an AI seeking to use us as a fuel source and control us, or it's gonna be something looking to eradicate us, or we actually get smart and somehow program it to basically be us, and it's just a digital person. In which case, it can think like us and doesn't want to kill us. So, I think that those are one of the three routes we're gonna go. Also, would be I feel like video games have also brought up this idea. I don't know if no, movies have brought it up too. There was a movie that Robin Williams was in. What if we make machines so smart that they actually begin to recognize themselves as people and request human rights. Which, nowadays we would say that's an absurd concept. Like, what? What, a machine being human? Yeah, okay. My iPhone having intelligence to the point where it thinks it's a person? Yeah, okay, whatever, bud. But then when you really think about it, going forward into the future, I can definitely see people supporting that, and I can also see arguments being made that these machines are, in fact, people, essentially. Like, I can see that legitimately being an argument. I need G. Oh, wait, do I have G5 and G6? I'm confused by why I needed all these pieces. Wait, hold on, am I dumb? Oh, these are separate. Okay. I am dumb. But anyway. So, yeah. I could definitely see that being a thing. AI somehow fighting for rights. Which, honestly, I feel like that's one thing that wouldn't be bad. You know? It's like, alright, what would you rather, honestly? An AI who's bitching about rights? Or an AI who's looking to kill you? Yeah, you know what? Listen. Robots want to talk about civil rights all day? Bet. I'll take it. As long as you're not trying to wipe my ass out, sure. Sure. You're not hurting nobody. You're just looking for equal rights. Nothing wrong with that. Just don't take control of our nukes, please. Seen that movie one too many times. Though, speaking of Terminator, there is that Terminator Survivors game coming out. And I'm actually like super hyped about it. Alright, so there we go. I gotta let you guys see this. I'm making this video for you guys. Why the hell am I? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm building over here. You can't see nothing. Like, bro, Nick, what's wrong with you? Stop it. I am an asshole. Yes, I am. Anyway, yeah, Terminator Survivors. I'm actually really interested in. It just sucks that it's called Terminator Survivors. But yeah, it's a single player game. Like, bro, that drop the ball. You dropped it. Come on. Come on. I think I got it. I think I got it. It just wanted to be annoying. So I need the C's and the E's. So E24 and E4. Which none of them are in this tray. I may be blind. Oh! Oh! That's what I'm looking for. But yeah, Terminator Survivors, it's a single player survival game taking place like soon after the events of Judgment Day. So the bombs had already fallen, and you're essentially just playing as a survivor who knows nothing of Skynet. So the concept of it, to give you an idea, the T-800 is basically Mr. X from Resident Evil. So you have no proper way of destroying the T-800 because this is before the Resistance started. So much like the game implies, you are just a survivor. You're someone who's just trying to live. And you're probably going to deal with, raiders. It's basically, from what I'm expecting Fallout, but with Terminators and Skynet. Um, I would like to imagine the reason why the T-800 is coming after us is because we're supposedly going to be. This is my impression of the game. I'm not saying this is definitely what it is, but I can see this being the situation. The T-800 specifically targeting us as bad as it is because we're targeted for termination because of the whole time travel element to the game or to the universe. Skynet probably knows that we're supposed to become some leader of the resistance under John Connor. So, before the resistance is formed, it's going to try to do what it does best and try to kill us. And I'm imagining failing miserably because that's just how Skynet is. Skynet do what Skynet do. This is right. I think. There we go. Oh, there is a hinge on it. Okay. No, I think I think that's good. I think so. I hope so. But yeah, all aside from what I've seen, if you guys are curious, the iPhone 16 is actually a really nice phone. I'm not gonna lie about it. It's a nice phone. Um, it's still Apple, so still never gonna use it. I don't like Apple personally, and that's just me. That is just me. That's my opinion. If you are an Apple user, I'm not gonna say nothing. Personally, I don't like it. I don't like their operating system. I don't like the way Apple is in terms of business practices, especially with their customers. I don't like them. I don't like them. C23. Like, sure, you can argue that other companies are just as malicious. Apple, as malicious as Apple. Like, now Steam is actually pretty good with their customers, I'd say. But like PS5, Ubisoft, they're all dirty piles of human garbage. But you know, you're not gonna get away from these assholes as much as you want to. And what's still wild too, I was talking to my customer about this today. It is kind of scary that I'll be talking about something random, right? Hey, I want to get a new airsoft gun or something like that. Later on tonight, I'll crawl on the bed, look at my phone, and what comes up? Hey, look at these air guns that are on sale. It's like, you motherfucker. I was just talking about this, and you're definitely listening to me. I've never looked it up. I've never looked this up. How the hell did you know I was like looking at this? Like, that's not helpful. That's scary. It's like, wait, you're listening to me? Do you listen to everything I say? Everything? Even last night when I was alone in the bathroom? You know what I mean? It's uncomfortable, to say the least. I don't think this matters. No, it doesn't. Okay, cool. But yeah, I've thought about it. Like, as of late, too, because going into it, VPNs, I've had a bunch of customers ask me, hey, do you think a VPN is honestly worth it? Some will say yes, some will say no. Personally, I don't think it's necessary. I personally don't believe a VPN is necessary. And the reason I feel that, right? There is a reason I feel like that. The reason I feel it is just because, like first of all, what are you doing that you're so worried about your data, right? That's for one. What are you doing? If you're doing banking and stuff like that, sure, okay, you can be protective. But again, where are you doing your banking exactly, right? So if you're at home on personal Wi-Fi, I mean, again, if you don't already have some kind of intrusion in your internet as it is, I don't really see a VPN as totally necessary. On top of that, too, it can kind of screw you up if you're a gamer because not antivirus, anti cheats don't typically like VPN. Does not typically play well with a VPN. So if you care about your games and you don't want to get banned, you don't want to use VPN. And I just lost that tray. God damn it. All right, let me get these pieces. F1 and F3. Oh, F9 and F3. Oh, okay. So I'm probably gonna need this. All right, whatever. But yeah, I don't really see it as entirely necessary personally. On top of that, too, if you're using most of the time your mobile data on your phone, like the way I see it is this: you are on a large user base, like not user base. What's the word? Like an oversized network, essentially, for lack of a better word, that damn near everybody and their grandmother is using, and you expect some hacker, modder, whatever, whichever who's it's, you expect this butthole to manage to find you and you specifically. If someone can manage to pull that off, they should not be bothering hacking you. They should be working for the federal government. Because if they have the ability to get into Verizon, like say my job example, Verizon, if they have the ability to get into Verizon systems like that and be able to screw customers, that dude needs to be working for the federal government. Like that's just all there is to it, honestly. F110? Okay. And besides, a lot of viruses that you get are essentially because you went to a bad place. You went to a site that you weren't thinking of, you downloaded something that you thought was okay, and you ended up getting smacked because of it. And that happens. I'm looking for B12? Oh, this thingy. Okay. But yeah, a lot of that's another thing too I get from people a lot. Oh, I think I got hacked. No, you didn't. You didn't get hacked. Nowadays, people don't get hacked like that. It's again, it's a misconception, honestly. You don't. Again, what you're referring to as a hacking incident isn't like hacking proper, because essentially what you're dealing with is what's the word? Phishing. You were someone who just went to the wrong site at the wrong time. That's all it is. That is all it is. You just went to a bad site. You downloaded a file that you shouldn't have. You got yourself a virus. It happens. Now, is it a good thing? Hell no. Nobody wants a virus. Who the hell wants that? What? To sit there and panic in the event that like you think you can somehow stop it? Well, no, that's wrong. Let me correct myself. It's not that you can't stop getting a virus. You can stop it. But I feel like it's a misconception that people think that, oh, you know, so and so is going to hack me. No, they're not. They are not going to hack you. You are fine. You're not going to get smoked just because. It doesn't happen like that. Someone's not just going to zero in on you unless you happen to be in a coffee shop and for some reason they think you are a valid target to go after. At least then, in that case, it's more targeted, sure. But that is such on a more grounded level. It's because remember, this is one person who happens to be on the same Wi-Fi that you are, and he's trying to figure out exactly which device you are. You know what I mean? But you're in close proximity as it is, so that's why I'm like, eh. And a lot of people too, I think they mix up viruses with, oh god damn it, mix up viruses with adware. Because I had a couple customers that were like, oh, I got a bad virus. I'm like, what'd you do? Oh, I don't know. I went on the internet and I got this, that, the third. And I'm like, well, you sure it's a virus? And honestly, I think it's just straight up. What the hell? Oh, that's how this goes. Okay, that is not. It's not comfortable. An F14. There we go. But yeah, it's a lot of common things I noticed that I've been picking up on for a while now. This goes like this. All right, I'm also trying to think about where all my parts are going. I guess this is gonna go here. This is gonna chill in here, and then this is gonna. Oh, there we go. Annoyingly, this is gonna somehow snap into place. Oh, there we go. Yay! There we go. That's what I need. Okay, everything's just gonna fall apart. I can't snap this where I need to because there's not enough space to actually push it in. That's what she said. And these pieces do not want to cooperate. Because why would they? There we go. Thinking like this maybe is what they want me to do. I have no idea which pieces are supposed to go where, and I can't really see because the lighting here sucks. Oh my god, this keeps falling apart. I hate these so much. All right, give me you guys like 5 minutes to figure this out. Oh, sometimes I hate these kits. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so I got it, and honestly, oh, what the fuck? This is like janky as hell. It just, I don't know. It kind of flaps on its own and wants to fall apart constantly. Not super thrilled with this part of the build, honestly. It's just not good. Like this doesn't seem like it wants to really go much further. I don't know. This whole thing is stupid right here. This wing. So all right, that's the first wing. What are these? Oh god, my back is killing me. I feel like I'm getting old. All right, A1. Yeah, that's what it calls for. So yeah, I gotta figure this whole thing out. Cause wait, what? F. Oh, is A? Duh. Okay, I need a vacation. I need a vacation because I am losing it. Like, what the hell is that thing? Now, something that people have been asking me on this channel, at least lately, I've had people asking if I'm ever going to do the Dead Rising remake or remaster. Honestly, I don't want to. To be honest, I don't want to. And it's not anything against you guys. I want to make that clear. It's not you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. As I always say, you guys are what keeps this channel alive. But there's a reason why I don't want to play that game. And the reason is I don't want to support Capcom committing to censorship. That's really it. A remake or a remaster should just be an open book test. It should be practically an open book. So for them to, for lack of a better word, screw up a remaster, it's like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not supporting that. Like, this isn't what the game was. This isn't, the game that we all played. And you are just now censoring what was because, heaven forbid, anybody gets offended. And a lot of what they censored, too, was stuff being, like, anti-communist. And it's like, why? Why is that a like, why is an angry Vietnam vet running around calling Frank a commie, or a filthy commie, I should say? Why is that a problem? Like, oh, we're afraid of, we're afraid of offending the communists. The communists? You mean the people that were that have their share of blood on their hands too? Need I remind you how many millions of innocent people starved at the hands of Mao Zedong or Stalin? This held a lot better. I think maybe I put this on wrong. I don't know, because this just isn't like this one went a lot more flush than this one is. But anyway, not to get into politics heavily, but basically it's like why are we so afraid about offending the commies of all people? Like screw them, the commies. Who cares about the filthy Reds? I might have to take this one apart honestly because it just keeps falling apart. It sucks so bad. Like this one actually. Oh well, that still opens. I wonder if this is meant to open. I think that's good. So we take a gun. Then take this thingamabobber, I think. What are you? Wait, what? No, this one goes here. In the wing unit that's not working well with me at all. Yeah, I can see where it's weak. I might have to take this wing apart. I'm a little confused here because... Wait. Oh. Uh-oh. So the reason why it's more wait. Trying to figure out, did I do this wrong? So I need F14, which is this one, this pain in the ass. And then this needs to face away, so it's gonna go into here, I think. Okay, so now it's not really, okay, there we go. And then, wait, no, so that already, yeah, so this is like this. It's gonna snap into the wing like that. That's how it's gonna go. Okay. I do kind of want to take this one off, though, and redo it, because I feel like I screwed up, so give me, like, 5 minutes to see if I could, like, disassemble and reassemble this damn thing. Alright, so I got all my blue pieces. This tray is finally done. Don't know where that went. Now this one still got time on it, so these trays all still have time, but I gotta work on these. Anyway. So, I don't know what made me think of this, but I guess just for the sake of conversation. I remember a time when there were a lot of shills for Russia. And that sounds weird. It's like, whoa, what the fuck are you talking about, bud? Bear with me here. So, to give you an idea, around the time of Call of Duty Cold War, right, when that released, I remember I had someone comment on my videos because I did both the good and the bad ending. And there was someone who's basically kissing Russia's ass, being like, oh, but how is this the bad ending? How is this the good? You know, so the ending where the U.S. basically gets, you know, not that the U.S. gets nuked, but that it was like Europe gets nuked thanks to the American bombs that were hiding under Europe. Um, numbnuts, like I knew it was essentially for like a trap, essentially, because they want to engage with you and basically try to make you look stupid and shit. So I didn't engage, but I was just kind of dumbfounded. I'm like, so wait a minute, the ending where millions of innocent people die all for the sake of communism, um, that's a good ending to you just because they're Westerners? Like, okay, screw you too. You're an idiot. And one reason why I don't support communism, because for some reason the Reds have this idea of, hey, so we just gotta basically kill everyone, and that will allow us to be communist. Because apparently we're going to spread our absurd ideology by murdering millions of people. Granted, that's the way I see communism personally. And I'm trying to see where this part goes, which I believe it goes right here. And Lord willing, this one will stay in place better than the previous one. Anyway. So, going back to it, I just remember, like, a lot of shills for, like, years. Right? If you're someone like me who's like, yeah, Team USA, you know what I mean? Pro USA. There's always some asshole being like, no, America's bad. It's evil. I had one straight up say that the US was a wise Nazi Germany. And I was like, for real? Like, oh, okay, you're an idiot. Sure. I mean, yeah, America's got its dirty points and has done, frigged up stuff in the past. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like America's totally innocent. But, let's face it, Russia ain't so clean itself. And, yeah, I just remember these comments, and I was like, I wasn't really, like, that was one thing that I've always done. I don't engage with stupid shit that I know is probably going to lead to a problem. It's either I will be, what's that saying? Kill 'em with kindness, essentially, where it's like, okay, friend, sure, you feel what you're gonna feel, and I'm gonna feel what I'm gonna feel, and you have a nice day. More or less that. Or I'm gonna be like subtly shitty, Like I had a guy, just for like, just kind of getting off topic a little bit. I had a guy in my store who he called me a scumbag. So every other word out of my mouth, every time he said something, I always responded with, "Okay, that's nice. Have a nice day. Thank you." I was so upset that I missed my opportunity because I should have, when on his way out when he said something stupid, I should have been like, "Thank you for being the best part of Verizon." Oh, that would have been great. Part of me kind of hopes I get the opportunity to do it again. Anyway, but yeah, that's the way I usually roll. Kill him with kindness because no one can ever like. What is someone gonna say to complain about you in any situation as a retail employee, as a content creator? What is anybody ever gonna say bad about you? Did you see that guy on YouTube? He said, "Have a nice day." How dare he? Like, you know what I mean? Who the hell is gonna, like, who in the hell is gonna complain about that, and who's ever gonna give you trouble for being a nice person, even if it was like subtly shitty? You know what I mean? No one. Yeah, it's stupid. So yeah, I remember two or three guys, one of my Call of Duty videos, were basically having an argument over this, basically being like, "Oh, America's this, Russia's that, yada yada." I was like, "I'm not engaging this. I'm just gonna leave this here, so that way, if anybody ever wants to see the stupidity that goes on sometimes with people, here you go." Oh, like this. Thankfully, I haven't had any nonsense like that since that video, and we're talking, what now, 2, 3 years ago? Thankfully, it hasn't happened in a long time. So, I'm not too worried about it. And like I said, I didn't ever see that as like a big problem. Where the hell is this? Wait, where's this piece? Oh, we're going down and then, okay, got it. Anyway, yeah, so I've noticed that a lot, and I remember even back in high school, I had a buddy who was basically a shill for communism, being like, "Oh, the teacher's wrong. Communism can work." I'm like, "No, it can't. I'm telling you, it can't. Look at every other country that tried it. They failed miserably. It's not gonna work." And the wild thing too is I remember getting into kind of like not a granted this was back when I didn't really know anything about politics as a kid. I just knew, who the bad guys were essentially. And I remember telling someone that I'm like, "Oh, if it weren't for them, we wouldn't really have the problems that we, and not the Russians, but just more or less like, Putin, Xi Jinping. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be in the hole that we're in." And this guy tried to defend it, being like, "Well, America's moving its missiles all over the place, and they're whatever, basically kissing their ass." And I just kind of find it funny that now, after everything that's going on over in Eastern Europe, with Ukraine and whatnot, now all of a sudden, you don't really hear that same kind of support. Like, I do see people commenting, be like, "Oh, Russia's trying to be the good guys," and all this other bullshit that they're pulling out of their ass. And a lot of people are like, "Yeah, that's probably a bot. It's probably a bot," because no one's really talking like that nowadays. Hell, if anything, from what I know, a lot of Russians are not happy with this war, if not a lot, most of. And from what I'm hearing, from what I'm seeing too, there are Russians who are immigrating out of the country and claiming to be Ukrainian just to kind of be like, just that kind of get away from it essentially. Like, "Yeah, no, it's not me. No, don't worry about it. Uh-oh." You know what I mean? It's understandable. It is understandable. So I don't blame them as to why they would want to do that. Do not give anyone any problem for it. I am just trying to figure out where the hell this piece goes. Oh, like that. It's kind of stupid. Because there's a red piece in there, and you really can't see the red all that much. It's like, why bother? And then I need G14, which is going to be in here. But I remember even as a kid being like, just because America's moving its shit around, and I'm not going to say America's been innocent. Like, no. We've done our share of being the bully. I'm not going to deny that. I mean, hell, I believe it was the Cuban Missile Crisis. Kennedy kind of goofed. Like, was it Khrushchev, I believe it was? Dude was actually being, I'm trying to think of the word. Like, he was actually trying to be reasonable. Kennedy didn't want to seem weak, so he just kind of kept antagonizing the Russians. And eventually, it was, Khrushchev kind of just worked with it. Was like, "All right, look, I get it. chill the shit out. Because Khrushchev didn't care who looked like the good guy or the bad guy in the situation. It was just more of, look, I'm not trying to end humanity, and I don't think you are either. So let's stop being children and get our shit rolling. I think this goes like this. And I remember trying to play middle ground because I am the type where even when it comes down to politics, may it be actual American politics, may it be, you know, communism versus capitalism, yada yada yada. I am the type to try to play the neutral ground, to try to be like the peacekeeper in a sense. And that one guy who was throwing the whole pro-commie, anti-American nonsense, I was I tried to remind him, like, not for nothing. Not for America, Russia would have been in trouble during during World War II, and even Stalin was quoted saying the war was won with, what was it, American brawn, British brains, and Russian blood. And this guy's answer to me was, well, he had to say it to look good. I was like, really? What is up with these filthy commies that they're just like, they can't accept coexistence? That's really what it is. They just cannot accept it. It's like, bro, someone gives you an opportunity to be peaceful and your psycho ass decides, hey, I'm gonna be the aggressor. Like, really? This is why we shouldn't allow communism. You try to be nice to these people and you give them a foot, they take an acre. And I would like it very much if you could just get your fucking ass in there. Christ on a cracker, come on! It just does not want to stay in place. Hold on. Oh? Oh? Hey! There we go. I thought I was supposed to push it further. There we go. We're good. Ow, ow. Yeah, we're good. So, that is our wing pack. I think we're just about done with this build. Weirdly enough, I have a bunch of stickers, and I don't remember ever having to use any of them. It's probably going to be an after effect kind of thing. So, there we have it. And then these are the weapons. So, tweak the angle that he's at. So if I angle this up. Oh, great. His weapons are just falling off now. And also hitting him in the head. This is the one that was made in China. They deploy this Gundam as a support unit. The Freedom Gundam will save the day. Where's it made? America? No, China. Oh, we're screwed. He's derpy as hell. His weapons hit him in the head. He doesn't even know how to use them. Like, this should actually be angled better, and it's just not angling well at all. Like, can I? Oh, yeah, I can. Wait, so. Oh, you can do this. That's the purpose of that. Okay. It is just kind of. This is all kinds of derpy, dude. Like, I bought this thinking real grade. I'm like, oh, real grade, so it's gonna be really cool. No. It's cool. Still is cool, but it's just not holding the way you want it to, you know? And there we have it. Our Freedom Gundam does not look as good as the picture, but that is it. Actually, hold on. Oh, that does open up. Okay, so that's meant to disconnect and what have you. Okay, so I don't feel totally stupid about that. Yeah, these are supposed to, like, open up and look like blades, I guess. Like, the picture shows it, like, over his shoulders, and then, like, this is all opened up, so I don't know. Tell me, guys, in the comment section, what do you think? But we gotta get his weapons together. Do I want to do the weapons? Guess we'll knock out the weapons. So the beam saber, I can't imagine that taking very long if I can find the parts. Here we go. E1, 15, oh, E15. And 23. Oh, this thing right here. It looks like a shaft. Anyway. But yeah, like I said, in my opinion, I'm not for communism. I don't go for any of that bullshit. And just more often than not, I feel like from the people that I've engaged with, when you have people who want democracy and capitalism and things like that, they're usually peaceful people. They don't want to hurt nobody. They don't want to cause nobody any trouble. At heart, it's not really a matter of I'm looking to take what you have. It's more a matter of like, look, leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. It's as simple as that. That is a common thing I've seen from people that would at least call themselves a capitalist. It's just, look, I'm not going to hurt you. I just want to go my way. But the commies, it's more of, oh, you're not one of us, so you can't be around us. And by that, I mean you're probably going to, we want you to die, essentially. They're just very aggressive people. I never understood why. They always play the victim. My theory is it's kind of like that whole idea of like when you are a fan of a sports team, but that team sucks ass like real bad, and when people make fun of you for it, you're doubling down because you don't want to seem like an idiot. I think it's something definitely more along those lines. At least that's what I think. So they don't want to look stupid. They don't want to feel stupid. So they just double down. Like, no, communism works. Definitely works, guys. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And you look like an idiot for supporting it. All right. I mean, what was it? Watching something out in China. Their economy is shitting the toilet, from what I've been hearing. Now, what's going on is, and I don't. This is going off memory from a few months ago, so bear with me. I don't entirely remember all of this. Like, I don't remember the exact like specifics, so please bear with me. But if I remember something around the lines of like China's economy is built around their housing market, essentially. So the idea is, trying to remember how. So you don't really own the property, but you have to pre-order it. So these companies, what they'll do is, like, say you're a citizen living in China, right? You'll pay ahead of time for an apartment, right? We'll just say an apartment. You're paying ahead of time, and the idea is that, because I don't think you necessarily own it. I don't really know how all that works specifically. I don't know the specifics. If you do know, tell me in the comment section. Of course, I'm always open to conversation. And I do like to hear others' thoughts. Of course, so long as they're constructive. Hence what I said before, people coming up with stupid comments, America being an evil Nazi or whatever bullshit. Again, looking for constructive conversation. Anyway, long story short, people in China, when they want property or want a house or an apartment or whatever, they tend to pre-order it. So the construction company will take all these orders and all these payments, and they will use that money to fund future projects, right? So they're building a house now. You pay for this house, but the money that they get from you for this house is being used towards somebody else's house. So it's almost like they're funding themselves in the future in a way, if that makes sense. By the way, another tray. I'm gone. Oh, hey, that went over there. There we go. So yeah, in a weird way, they're funding future projects. And what ended up happening was because of, the virus and everything that went on. I don't know if YouTube will let me say the words that you know what I mean. Essentially, people were starting to panic, and they were like, "Oh, we need money because, food." So they started pulling out their pre-order money because they could always cancel. That's the thing too. They can cancel it. They could cancel at any time. Most people just don't. But ever since then, people have been pulling out, and it's been a snowball ever since. Because when people started pulling out, the company started defaulting on their debts and their, what's the word? Like, so like, if they had any debt for a future, like, I'm trying to think of the word, like a loan, they'd use those pre-orders to pay that off, essentially. Like I said, they put it towards future projects. But when people started pulling out, this company basically defaulted. And they're like, oh, we don't have money. We don't have any money. So, naturally, when projects started getting canceled, more people started pulling their pre-order money out. And like I said, this just gradually became a devastating snowball. And last I heard, the CCP were basically crapping themselves. Like it was that bad. Um, I haven't really heard since what went on with that, so I don't know too much in that regard. Like I said, you're talking months. I think this is back in, I want to say, I'm seeing this maybe like November? I don't remember how long ago it was. I think where I heard this, what was the content creator? One of them, so when it comes down to stuff about China, it's either I'm watching, what's his name? China Uncensored, or this other guy, I believe Sapienza or Sapiza, something like that. I want to say he was either from New Zealand or the UK, but he's spent time in China. He's lived in there, and he's like, yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of out the country and tell you guys what's going on, that kind of shit. Is that it? 19. Yes, it is it. So that's where a lot of like my information comes from. Those sites, not those sites, those channels. Where is it? There it is. But I am sure after this video releases, the CCP will probably have me shot, because that's just how they are. Actually, interesting story, speaking of them and taking out people they don't like. There was a situation I remember watching where Indian and Chinese military personnel end up, for lack of a better word, getting into a fist fight, essentially, over contested territory that both China and India claim are theirs. And the Chinese claimed that it was the Indians' fault. Naturally, the Indians claimed it was the Chinese fault. Oh my god, this tiny ass piece. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's just so friggin' tiny. Trying to get it in place. I need tweezers. Oh my god, this is gonna aggravate the shit out of me. Anyway, someone who was a Chinese citizen who immigrated to Europe actually commented on the situation over on Twitter. And he was like, yeah, knowing the government, it was probably the Chinese troops asking for it. They probably started it. Mind you, this is a former Chinese citizen who immigrated out of the country. And there's our beam rifle. But yeah, so he basically called out his own government. He's like, yeah, they probably asked for it. Probably their fault. Would not doubt it. The Chinese police figured out his information. They called him up and they're like, yeah, you need to come back to the country. Why? Like, well, you have to face charges for talking shit about us. So either you come back or we're going to hold your parents liable for it. He told them, for lack of a better word, eat a dick. And they said, bet. They figured he was bluffing. So they actually did go after his parents. Now, they didn't do anything too absurd, but what they did was they put the parents under house arrest. It actually, to the point that apparently a female police officer would sleep with the mom and a male officer would sleep with the dad. Like, they had somebody around the clock watching his parents. Like, that's absolutely insane. Now, I don't think he ever actually went back to the country. I think eventually they just kind of called it a loss and walked away from it. I don't know if he ever went back to the country. I can't remember. If you guys know, again, if you're familiar with the story, tell me in the comment section. But that's the kind of shit that goes on, and it's just absurd that we have people that want a system like that in our country. Not even just the U.S. too. What was it? It's even in Europe. So I don't know where the hell all this nonsense came from, but all I'm gonna say, and it's a lot of college students too. So all I can say is people are dumb as shit. And listen, I get things are difficult nowadays. Oh, believe me, I know. Just because shit's difficult doesn't mean we just throw what we have away just because it's damaged. We gotta make the most of it. We gotta make it work somehow. We gotta. You don't just. If it doesn't work, you don't just burn it. You try to fix it. And what I would like to do is make this work. See? There you go. Making it work. Already putting my theory into action. Or ideas? Principles? Is it principles? I think principles. There we go. Now, what are... Oh, there we go. The shield actually looks nice. Then E... Where are my E's? Oh, this is my E. Yeah, honestly, at this point, I don't really have anything else to talk about because I can't think of anything. I genuinely cannot think of anything. I wonder how YouTube's algorithm is going to respond to this. It's probably going to be like, hey, can't talk about that. That's bad. You're not allowed. We don't like you talking about this. It's got to be child friendly. Oh, there you go. That's another one to talk about. CoComelon. I know it sounds weird. Why are we talking about this? A child's content creator, essentially. So parents have actually been reporting that their child watching CoComelon for long periods of time, it's actually detrimental to their, I guess you could say, their mental health and their mental, their ability to learn as children, essentially. There are kids that have gone nonverbal just because of CoComelon. It's actually to the point where CoComelon is essentially childhood crack, for lack of a better word. Like there are videos online of parents thinking it's funny that when they turn on CoComelon on their phones or something, and the kid actually runs into the room. You'll have like a little 2-year-old who will just hear the theme song and then sprint into the room looking for CoComelon. It's like, oh, it's him. It's that show about the baby. You know what I mean? Like just beelines it right in. But that, to me, just sounds like an addiction. And for a child as young as what CoComelon's viewers are, that's got to be dangerous. I mean, I remember there was a theory when it came down to things like loot boxes that, in a sense, companies were turning kids into dopamine addicts. And I would say CoComelon is the closest we're getting to that. Because apparently, I mean, the way it's designed, when you really think about it, when you know how they work it, it's friggin' evil. Like, straight up evil. They actually have a kid they test on, and essentially, from what I've come to understand how they operate, they will have a kid. Oh, wait, you have to man. Oh, that sucks, because if you want to change how he holds this. Oh, because if you want him holding it like that, you want him to. Oh, that's annoying as hell. Because then you can. Oh, okay, that is annoying, because there's these little. I don't know if you guys can see it. See if I can kind of like shade it a little bit. Yeah, kind of. So like, you see those little divots next above the handle? You can manually adjust this. That is so annoying. I kind of hate that, I'm not gonna lie. And then this is putting the gun together for the... What the hell is that? Oh, this is changing the arm and whatnot. Apparently we can put his... Oh, into the... That's what I figured that was what it was. Anyway, yeah, so they basically have a kid watching new CoComelon episodes, and what they do is they'll have... That's his crotch... Like this. They'll basically have this kid watching the show, and alongside that, they'll have something random. And if at any point in the show the kid decides to look away from the screen and look at the other screen, they know, okay, the kid lost interest, so we gotta tweak things. They deliberately make it overly bright colors, so they do everything they can to draw the child's attention onto the screen constantly. And these kids, like I said, basically become dopamine addicts. It's honestly terrifying when you think about it. There are kids that when they're not able to watch their show, they have withdrawals too. Like they act like they're going through some kind of crazy withdrawal. It's insane. So that's why I said, I mean, essentially they've become dopamine addicts. Also, you know what? Again, little side note. I gotta go through this maybe after stream, because let me show you guys this. I have all these stickers that I never used at all during this whole debacle. And I'm gonna go through this real quick just to see if I missed anything. I don't think I did. But I'm gonna figure that out. Anyway, um, yeah, so these kids will straight up go through withdrawals. Uh, but while there are parents, and you know what, naturally parents are complaining about this. But one thing I do have to give the writers of Coco Melon, what I have to give them credit for is they did make a statement and they made a very good point. Their content is meant to, give, for children's entertainment, but they want to remind parents that it's still the parents' job to raise them. They can't let the show raise their child. Like the show is meant as more of you know, a filler, I guess you could say, and it's not really meant to raise your kid. And unfortunately, that's what's going on here. You have parents that are like, "Here, Timmy, watch Coco Melon. I'm gonna go screw your mother." You know what I mean? Like, that's, for lack of a better word, what it is. And when their kid starts acting like a meth head, who are they gonna go after? They don't look at themselves in the mirror and go, yeah, I probably should be paying more attention to my kid. No. Instead, what they're gonna do is they're gonna go blame someone else, because at the end of the day, for them, if they blame themselves, that makes them bad parents. Oh. Oh. Hey, so you know how I was talking about the stickers? There they are. There's the instructions. It's all external. Fuck my life. That's gonna be another video. Okay. Before I want to put my head through a wall, I'm just gonna leave that there. But that's my rants for today. Like usual, I mean, a lot of my rants are either planned or they're pulled out of my ass because I had nothing to talk about and I just wanted to fill dead air and just to kind of get my thoughts out. Because, like I usually say, the reason why I talk the way I do and just talk about what I do, the general idea is that it gives you guys an idea of who I am as a person, what I believe in, what I think, and it lets you know at least, like, this is who Nick is as a person, you know? That's at least the general idea. It's not really that I'm trying to push forward any, like, hey, we need to call to action and do this, that, the third. Yes, absolutely. Like, no, it's nothing like that. It's genuinely just, look, this is what's in my head. This is what I think. If you agree, great. If you don't, then at the very least, I ask you to politely disagree. You know what I mean? Like, let's agree to disagree. At the end of the day, I'm not here to argue with anyone. And that's why I always say I'm also open to conversation. Like, look, if you think I'm wrong about something, if you think I missed something, or if you do just have a genuine opinion, may it be a counter or pro opinion, of course, I want to hear your thoughts. And I do want to be open to conversation. And I'm also done with this choice. That one's out too. Anyway, that all said, that's where I'm going to leave this one for tonight, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. As always, if you enjoy my rants, my nonsense, or if you just like hearing me talk, and you like seeing me go nuts and try to build these things when they don't want to cooperate, engagements really do make a difference. Likes, dislikes, bell icon, comments help the channel tremendously with YouTube's algorithm and allow us to grow as a community, and I appreciate your help. If you haven't done so already, feel free to join our Discord, link in the description below. Other than that, feel free to join our Discord. I would appreciate a subscription if you could. I'm just thinking, I'm exhausted. So part of me is like, my brain is half off at the moment. I'm like, okay. But I digress. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate your continued support. You guys are why this channel exists. And without you, I just would not be here. So believe me, from the bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate you guys. With that said, I will see you all in the next one. Thank you everyone so much. You guys are awesome. Have a fantastic night. See you all on the next one. Later, people.